So the 2022 season is over, but we know it's never too early to talk about next season as our 2023 opponents have been officially set. And I'm not gonna lie, it's looking a bit tough, especially on the road. Luckily, we do play more games at home than away. And of course, the schedule does come out at some point in March, so some of these games could be prime time. We don't know when in the season we actually play these teams. But at home, we play the Broncos, Raiders, Cowboys, Giants, Titans, Panthers, and then, of course, the AFC East. Now, though, a lot of those teams are teams that sounds like we can beat. The only teams I see as like a real threat in there are the Cowboys, of course. You know, maybe you can throw the Giants in there at this point. And then, of course, the Bills and division rivals are always going to be tough, but we basically split every single series with the AFC East teams. We were 1-1 with each team, but we lost every single game on the road. We won every game versus our division rivals at home. So that is going to be something that would be huge next season. I'd love to play the Bills earlier in the season for either game. I'd love to play them at home in mid-September. I'd also love to play them away in September rather than in December. But we'll see what happens with that. The Dolphins still put up a great fight when they played them in Week 15, so this team can play in the cold weather as well. The Panthers I'm not too worried about. Neither am I worried about the Jets or the Patriots, to be honest. The Titans, I don't know if we even see Ryan Tannehill as quarterback when we play them, but I'm glad to see him at least potentially make his return to Miami at some point. The Giants and Cowboys, like I said, are probably the two most real threats. We'll see what the Giants look like next season, as they do have a lot of free agents. They got a lot of work to take care of this offseason. The Cowboys are probably going to be a tough team to play next season. The Raiders are going to be a completely different team. I don't know who's going to be playing for them at quarterback. Derek Carr has already said his goodbye message to Las Vegas. Is it going to be Jared Stidham or like Jimmy Garoppolo or Tom Brady? I don't know who's going to be at the helm for Vegas this next season. But regardless, Devontae Adams is always going to be a guy that cooks us at home every single year, or every time we play him at least. And for the Broncos, we know they were a mess this season, but I mean, with a new coach, I think Russell Wilson and the Broncos can completely turn it around. I wouldn't be surprised if they do make a run for the playoffs, or even if they do actually make it next season. But we'll have to see what happens with them. And now for the road games, this is where it gets tough. And when I say tough, I mean tough. We play the Commanders, we play the Ravens, and the AFC East, of course. Like I said before, we lost every single game on the road to the Jets, Patriots, and Bills. So it's not going to be a cakewalk. I know we played the Patriots with Teddy Bridgewater, we played the Jets with basically Skylar Thompson, and the Bills are the Bills, so it's going to be always tough to beat them, especially in Buffalo. But, I mean, the Dolphins not only put up a fight with Tua late in the regular season, but they put up a fight with Skylar Thompson in the playoffs. So I'm definitely seeing that there is a chance that we can beat the Bills once or twice this year. But the Bills are probably going to get one no matter where. The Patriots, I'm confident we can beat next season, especially with two of the Jets. I know the Dolphins want their revenge. I know they technically got their revenge the season finale, Week 18, to get into the playoffs, but that may have been the ugliest game of football we've ever watched. The Ravens we did just beat, but barely, in Week 2 after that crazy comeback. The Commanders, I'm not worried about. I don't know who's going to be the quarterback. I don't think it's going to be Carson Wentz. I don't think they can actually roll with Taylor Heineke and expect the team to do well, although they do have some sort of flash when they see him in the game. So that whole skin, I think that team is going to be a mess. But I'm expecting a win there, so we better not lose to them. Now, here's where it gets real. We played the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Eagles, and I'm also going to throw the Ravens in there, and the Bills. We played the Bills, the Ravens, the Chiefs, the Chargers, and the Eagles, all on the road. Like I said before, we played the Ravens. It was a miracle game. We played the Chargers also on the road this past season, where it was Tua's probably most inefficient game of his career, where we lost that game on Sunday night. That was a heartbreaker. The Chiefs one is going to be interesting. Tyreek Hill makes his return to Kansas City. Now, I'm not saying, obviously, I'm hoping Tyreek's going to play this game, but we don't know when this game is going to be. He could be injured for all we know. Like, we don't know what it's going to look like. There's definitely a real chance that we play the Chiefs or the Eagles or the Chargers or any of these teams. There's a real chance that the Dolphins get multiple primetime games next season. And the Chiefs is definitely one of them, especially when Tyreek Hill makes his return to Kansas City. That's going to be a crazy game. Tua versus Mahomes. Last time we played the Chiefs, I think the Dolphins only lost by 8. That was in Tua's rookie season, or maybe it was in his second season. No, it was in his rookie season because there was no Waddle. That was the game that Xavier Howard had that crazy one-handed pick, but I'm pretty sure like Lynn Bowden was his number one receiver, Adam Shaheen or something like that. It was when Tua had no weapons and when he was still stuck with Flores. But I'm definitely excited for that game. The Chargers, like I said, we lost them earlier this year. They're gonna want the revenge for that. The Eagles is gonna be tough. Tua versus Hurts, Waddle versus Devontae Smith. Like it's gonna be a whole Alabama type of game. Tua versus Hurts, and then Tyreek and Waddle versus A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. That's going to be a really fun game to watch. But that game also could definitely be prime time. I'm excited to see the schedule because I think the Dolphins have a chance to get multiple primetime games, maybe versus the Cowboys or the Giants or something. We play on Thanksgiving or something. Hey, I'm just throwing it out there. There's definitely a chance, but there's easily a chance we play the Bills at least one of those games. There's definitely a chance for both, but 100% one of those games versus the Bills will be on primetime. Like I said, maybe the Cowboys, potentially the Giants, probably not though. The Chiefs, I'm like 75% expecting that one to be a primetime game. Chargers maybe, Eagles maybe, Ravens potentially, probably not though. Commanders, whatever. That better be a win. I'm gonna come back to this video, and if we don't beat the Commanders at some point in the 2023 season, I'm definitely gonna be pissed. But that's going to wrap it up. We've got a tough schedule. And we've got a tough offseason ahead of us. Limited cap space, barely any draft capital. Going to have a whole video coming out on that soon. That'll wrap up. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great day. Peace.